Monica McNutt. We say hello to Jules Vianney and Cam Smith. Cam, why is the lottery machine over there today?
Well, I'm glad it's here because you have had no luck, right? So we don't want to send Bill to the draft lottery, right? Because we've just gotten so many just outrageous things. You picked the 5th pick?
Bad luck, Bill.
The white ball?
The larger issue is the lottery machine execution has been a problem.
Look at this.
That hasn't gone very well. We have gotten the 3rd pick for the Knicks and the 5th overall pick. We're going to continue on now for today, and you'll see if you can pull this off.
We go.
All right.
You have better luck than Bill.
Blue is number 1 overall.
Right.
Come on,
Red is 2 overall. Green is 4 overall.
I'm going
Good
to
luck.
channel my inner Patrick Ewing. All right, here we go. Here we
That thing
go.
is a dice
Let's go.
machine.
Here we
Good
go.
luck.
You ready?
That's
Here we go.
big shoes
All right.
to fill. No pressure, Cam.
Are you serious? We get them all. We get the number 1 pick. We get the number 2 pick. We get the number 4 pick. They're all coming to New York. Zion, John Morant, everybody.
You know what?
serious?
You came in here all cocky, and I told you.
This is what we get.
that is
We get them
not
all.
easy.
Look, we got Zion, we got Ja, and we can trade the number 4 pick. There
For
we
the
go.
sake of the conversation, let's go with the last ball standing.
Okay, there
got
we
the
go.
blue.
All right.
All right,
Blue.
That's number
That's
1.
Number 1. This is a hard choice. Who
Very
should I
difficult.
go with?
Very difficult.
I think I'll go with a young man named Zion Williamson.
Yeah. I think so.
I mean, that would be obviously the best case scenario, and then we'll find out next Tuesday night. And, the real work is going to come if you're a Knicks fan and a Knicks executive if they end up with 3, 4, or 5. 1 figures to be a lock, 2, Ja Morant, and then after that, who knows? What do you guys think, Monica?
Well, if we're just tossing out some names after that, I'm a big fan of Jared Culver coming out of Texas Tech. I know he kind of shrunk a little bit from the big stage when we got to some of the national championship game. Or check that. In the national championship, he actually put up 27, or DeAndre Hunter put up 27. Jared Culver did shrink away a little bit. But you look at his size, and you look at what they were able to do out in Lubbock. I think he's a guy that on his career on the season was 18-6. So he gives you that power forward ability. I mean, he can shoot, he can attack. I think Jared Culver's a guy to watch. My list would be Jared Culver, DeAndre Hunter, and Roy Hachimura out of Gonzaga.
And that's going past 3.
Yeah.
You're going into 4 or 5. And I like Cam Reddish. I mean, I know that Duke could have done a little better than they did this year, but
Are you
he's
concerned
got
about his injuries in a big
his
spot?
motor. I think everyone's
And he
concerned
got
about
hurt,
that.
and it was very kind
It
of
was
vague about.
mysterious.
Right.
That's where the motor comes in. Does he have that wherewithal? Does he have that gut instinct?
Yeah.
But I think he's got the best two-way potential in terms of anyone else in that group of guys because he can play both ends of the floor. I think that he's going to be a really good pro in the right situation.
Well, he has great size. He's definitely, and he's a great shooter as well. But I think for him, you got to give him a little credit. I mean, he's in a situation coming out of high school where he was the guy for his high school team, his AU team, but then you go to Duke and you're overshadowed by Zion and RJ Barrett. So it was one of those things where at the same time he had to find his role, right? We saw him hit that big time game winner against Florida State at Florida State. So that just lets you know that he can thrive in pressure moments.
But here's my thing, right? And we all played. You go to a high school program.
Why'd you
are
exclude me
successful.
from that?
I said we.
That was cold.
He's got to come down here.
It's Monica's day now, right? Me and you have mended
You need a
offenses.
big long pen there.
This idea that we give cushion for you're no longer the star anymore, to me, it's such a farce. Do you not want to go from high school as a star and team up with other stars and win some more? I don't understand why we give so much credence to
At the
that.
same time, he's a young basketball
Look,
player.
it's basketball.
Let me ask you this question. Your freshman year, when you came into the program, practice, open gyms, all those things, season started, you got your feelings hurt because you thought you were going to be maybe higher in the rotation or more responsibilities in terms of the system, right?
Fair share.
There are
Exactly.
always
So
gonna
we
be other
have that,
players.
right? You had a learning
Then
curve.
you hit the curve. Exactly. You hit the curve and you figure it out. I worked my way into the starting lineup. Thank you very much. And started from the second half of my freshman year throughout my senior year.
This is the bottom
listen.
line. You're always going to have overshadowing taking place.
I'm listening, Jules. No.
No, players are going to be overshadowed at times. I mean, Cam Reddish is going to have to learn how to play with other stars, and that's the point of college, right? You're going to get that in the NBA even more so.
But that's my
You got to
point.
get used to it.
That's my
Absolutely.
And he's going to grow and mature, though. But I think
will.
at that selection, you have to go with Cam Reddish or maybe entertain the thought of maybe moving the pick.
You guys ready for a game here?
Game's on. Let's go.
You ready?
Let's go.
We're playing Golden Tate or Golden State.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you guys the question,
All right, Jules,
and the
let's go.
answer
All
is
right.
either going to be you, Golden Tate, or someone on Golden State.
A player.
Right.
Do we have
Okay.
to name the player or just someone?
Good
you
question.
can't name the team Golden State.
The Warriors.
Okay, it's someone on the roster.
All right.
Everybody ready?
Let's do it.
Okay, here we go. Played baseball in college. Is it Golden Tate or someone on Golden State?
None of those guys played ball in college.
They couldn't.
Golden Tate.
Golden Tate, I would say.
Ding, 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 ding.
Look at that. Just an athlete over
one
here.
for one. So far, so good. Question 2. Favorite food is crab legs, Golden Tate or someone on Golden State?
Your face.
Golden Tate.
No, did you see him make a face?
He said it looks. Yeah, that was on
Nashville.
purpose.
Crab legs are not a thing
You
in
can't.
Nashville.
You're giving it away.
Golden Tate.
On the Warriors, I would say Kevin Durant because crabs are a big thing in the DMV, and that's where he's from.
If it's
2 for 2. I'm going to just give you that because that was a heck of a. She's impressive, right?
Well,
Give me the little.
You're also. You can't give
You
this
can't
away.
give it away.
I am.
You can't.
That's my favorite food, crab legs.
Is it
It
really?
is?
Yeah.
Well,
I
guess
said
what?
Golden Tate.
Guess
I
what?
said Golden
You got
Tate.
it.
I got it right.
You know, that's a
I was trying to throw you off because I knew you was
Okay,
reading
that-
faces.
We, our
Reading my
research
face.
department was unaware that you like crab legs. So now,
Well,
all right, all right, all right.
Okay.
All right. Number 3, originally drafted by Seattle, Golden Tate or someone on Golden State?
This guy.
This guy.
That's a tricky question.
Oh wait, it's also
Oh.
KD.
KD was a Sonics.
also KD.
That's right.
Go.
We got 2.
Are you impressed with this?
I am.
Because, I mean, this is like perfection so
Super
far.
Sonics.
So which answer is on the paper?
That's a trick
That's it.
question.
Okay,
sort
yes.
of.
That's it. All right, we move right along. One starred in a Burger King commercial as a child.
Oh.
I'm thinking of the Warriors roster.
Golden State, Draymond Green. I don't know.
I haven't heard that about any of them, so I'm going with you again.
Oh, was I
First
right?
one.
And the answer is Steph Curry.
Steph Curry, not Draymond. He's more the teeth guy.
Yeah. All right. Moving right along. You still with us?
I am.
Drives a minivan. Golden Tate or Golden State?
No.
We're driving the minivan.
Kids, remember?
Yeah, but they're little. You don't even need all that space
Oh,
yet.
man, Golden State. Well,
Who,
I
though?
can't say Steph Curry.
Gotta be somebody with a
Maybe.
personality.
He's got a few kids.
It could be Steph if it's an Infinity minivan.
Steph and
'cause she's
Aisha?
got a whole sponsorship. Yeah, let's go with it.
Let's go with that. No?
The answer is Kevin Durant.
Really?
Yeah.
He drives a minivan?
Kevin Durant drives a minivan? That's hilarious.
That's
all right.
exactly
That does
right.
not strike me.
All right. Overall, not bad though.
That doesn't
not
strike
bad.
me as
Not
a
bad.
Not
KD.
bad.
What did we get? What's our score? We
I
got
think
4.
we went. I think 4 and 2 maybe.
And we
Okay.
were not told any of these questions
Right.
ahead of time.
We're
done.
we're solid. All right, so we got to get a question in while you're here with us, Golden Tate. You're in New York. I heard you took the popular way of transportation in today. Excited about the train? Are you officially a New Yorker? You did the train? Yay, nay?
I did it. I'm still like, I don't know what's going on. So like, I just find people and like I tap them on the shoulder with their headphones. I was like, excuse me, can you tell me how to get to 39th Street? And they're like, take
Well-
the 1, 2, 3. I'm like, okay, well, which one?
Exactly.
Well, okay. Here it is. 1 is local, makes all the stops. 2 and 3 express.
Oh.
Where are you coming in from?
You say that like it's so simple.
Well, I'm
Right.
a
So
veteran
the
at
rest
this
of
point.
us
Where are
are
you
like,
coming down?
what?
Where are you
Gotta be
coming
coming
from?
from
Only thing I
Jersey.
know is from
Most
Jersey,
likely.
I take Secaucus Junction to
Penn
Penn Station.
Okay.
And then
Well, you're right here across
I'm
the
gonna
street.
Uber unless it's like 3:30 to
Right.
6:30. Then
Right.
I'm gonna go bother someone who's rushing home.
I think you're ready.
Yeah.
You are. It sounds like you have been properly briefed on dynamics here.
He's been all over the place.
I
He's
even have
played
one of those
for
Metro cards
everyone.
now.
Do you?
All
I
right,
got one.
I got a question too, more
Okay.
football centric.
Okay.
Because you played with some of the best quarterbacks ever, a lot of elite ones. Can you pick a favorite one? Maybe? That's a tough one.
Jules.
Or what did
Well,
you learn
if
the
you ask
most
me
from
right
one?
now, Eli Manning's definitely my favorite.
There you go.
But
Good answer.
a very, very close second, I'd say Matt Stafford. I mean, that guy has a special arm. He understands the game, and he always put me in a good situation to succeed. And I kind of owe my yards after catch to him because there's times where I thought I was not open. He would throw me open, or he would get the ball to me early enough where I could catch it, make a move, and then get up the field. And it's something that
Now you won a Super Bowl with Russell Wilson.
We're surprised,
Right,
yeah.
right.
Okay, I got one now. How often do people come up to you and say, you're the guy from the catch that wasn't a catch or was a catch, the confusing moment?
yeah, they come up and say, oh, you're the guy with
That
Fel
was,
Mary. And I'm
okay,
like,
just to
"Excuse
clarify,
me,
Monday Night
Hail Mary."
Football
Monday Night- the
2012.
infamous.
It's Seattle against Green Bay. You get Jennings of Green Bay battling you in the end zone, and it was famous because one ref said no call, one ref
Look at
said
that.
call,
What a-
and they're calling it the Fail Mary. Should it have been a catch or not?
Well, the guy who said it was a touchdown had a better angle, clearly.
Clearly.
So I'm calling the catch all day. If you look at the rules, and even after the fact, the NFL came back and said, yes, that was a correct call. So we win. And fun fact of the day is, I actually scored 2 touchdowns that game, and no one knows because they're
Yeah.
worried about that one.
There you go.
We have a special treat because we're going to use our video call center to go to St. Croix and join our buddy Walt Frazier. Clyde, thanks so much for being here. When you think back to that special night back in 1970, what do you think about?
I was young, rich, and famous.
Well, what about your performance in that game?
No, that's perfect. That's perfect. He's right. He was young, rich, and famous. Now he's a little bit older, rich and famous. It's okay.
How's the weather down there?
Guys, I have a different garden that I'm doing my thing in these days.
But you know, Clyde, when you think about that game,
My coconut tree, my palm tree. But no, when I think of that game, I think of Willis Reed. Game 6, I think Chamberlain had like 40 points and 20 rebounds because Willis didn't play. So for Game 7, we didn't know whether Willis would play or not. So that was our whole thought when we went over to the Garden. Would Willis play? And we didn't know when we went on the court if he would play or not. Everyone thought it was premeditated that we knew that, but we were just as flabbergasted as the crowd was when we saw Willis come on the court.
Now, the game has always been about, here comes Willis. But, Clyde, you had one of the great performances in the history of NBA Finals Game 7s or any Game 7s you can think of with the 38-19. When you were playing in that game, did you say to yourself, I've got to raise my game, or did it just happen in the flow because of how good of a team you were playing on and that was your night? Or were you telling yourself, no, I've got to raise my game?
In the playoffs, whenever we leave the locker room, Holtzman always pulls me over to the side. So if we're playing the Bullets, he'll say, hey, Clyde, forget about offense. Just focus on defense on Earl. This night, he told me, hey, Clyde, hit the open man. So when I went out to the court, that was my goal was to hit the open man. But as the game progressed, I was the open man.
Clyde, when you look back as we talk about present day and the present day Knicks, you obviously have had a lot of time here to think about the season, getting ready for a very important offseason. What are you thinking about what you've seen and what you hope to see come draft time?
Well, obviously, we're in a position to win it. You got to be in it to win it. So we know we have the cap space. We have a good draft choice. So now we need a little luck. That's why I like what they did with Patrick. Patrick was the last guy in 1985, since we had this type of hoopla and pageantry. So hopefully Patrick can bring the luck that we need to get these guys.
You were there on the dais a couple of years ago representing the team. What is that like? Is it nerve-wracking to sit there? Well, what's Patrick going to go through while sitting there like you did back in 2017?
Well, I'm sure like me, it was a great honor. I've been around a long time. I'd never sat there. So when Phil Jackson called me, I couldn't believe it. I was very excited and obviously very disappointed that I could not deliver. So hopefully Patrick can.
Clyde, take us through a typical day for you in St. Croix.
I usually get up around 8. My workers come, and I go to 3 o'clock, guys. I take an hour for lunch. And like now, when I finish talking to you, I have to go to Home Depot, pick up supplies. so a long day.
Wait, what kind of supplies do you have to pick up?
I got to see this.
I have to pick up lumber. I have to pick up doors. I have to pick up toilets, all type of stuff. Sliding glass mirrors. So it's a labor of love. I really like designing, decorating, landscaping. So that's pretty much what I do most of the day.
Hey, Clyde, before we let you go, we have Cam Smith, who's part of our show here. He actually played ball at Southern Illinois, and he wants to say hello.
Clyde,
say hello to Clyde.
Clyde, they have the GOAT here, so I have to make sure that I get a conversation and a question in for the GOAT when it comes to Southern Illinois basketball, man. It's great to meet you. A big fan. That number 52 jersey, the first jersey retired in SIU history, and we drew motivation from seeing your jersey in the rafters. But I always thought, why did he choose the number 52? So you got to let me know the story behind that and why you chose 52.
Well, in college, I was a forward. I actually played forward. I averaged 10 rebounds and like 18 points. So that's how I came up with the number 52. Everyone liked to know how I got the number 10. So first time I checked into the Knicks, Danny Whalen was the Knicks trainer. And he looked at me and said, "Hey, Frazier." He threw me number 10.
Big night in the NHL tonight, Game 7, Colorado at San Jose. We bring in our pal, Rangers analyst Joe Micheletti, to talk about this. Joe, how you doing, buddy? Thanks so much for stopping by here on the video call center.
Yeah, I'm doing great, guys. Congrats on the new show. And you know what? Anytime you get to the playoffs, the NHL playoffs, and in particular a Game 7, I mean, what can be wrong, right? What can be bad about that? So it's been fabulous.
Yeah, probably hockey Game 7s, but hockey playoffs alone is always must-watch TV. Now, Joe, the Rangers aren't in the playoffs, but a lot of Ranger fans looked at last night's Game 7 as a playoff game for the Rangers, mainly because of that pick. They don't get it, but still, this offseason for the Rangers has been very interesting so far.
Yeah, it really has. And what it does, Alan, is it just continues a plan they put together about a year and a half or two ago to try and build a team that is championship worthy. And, across the entire group. And they went on such a fabulous run for a good 7 years there, where, of course, they went to the final in 14 and did not win. But, they got to a point and where Jim Dolan, the owner, wanted to know if this team was good enough to win a championship. And so, they all basically said, listen, we've got to rebuild this. We've tried hard. We've come close. It's been an entertaining group over the last number of years. It's been so much fun at MSG to see these players play. But now we're getting to a point where they're getting older. We've given away and traded a lot of assets to try and win a championship, which is what most teams do when they come close. And so now it's time to just move forward with this, and that's what they've done with the number of picks. And there was an awful lot of excitement this year to see all these young kids play and step into the lineup and just really be exciting young players. And to think going down the stretch that there was the last couple of months you had your top center was 25, and then two other centers were 20, and then your other one was 19. And they showed a lot of good things. So they're moving forward. It's unfortunate that they weren't able to turn that second round pick from Dallas into a first round pick, but that's the way it goes. They've still done, I think, an excellent job.
So, Joe, the Rangers so far this offseason have acquired Adam Fox. They got him in a trade, of course, and coming from the KHL, it's going to be Igor Shesterkin, the highly touted young goalie, and also Kravtsov, one of the number one picks from last year. What do you think the Ranger fans should expect from this trio next season?
Well, the first thing I did when they made the deal for Adam Fox is since I've been on this Colorado series with San Jose, I went to Alex Kerfoot, who played with Fox at Harvard. And I said, listen, I know there's been a lot of talk about him. What do you think about Fox as a player? And he said, the first thing he said to me was, the kid's a stud. He says he doesn't get enough credit for how good he is defensively because he's extremely smart and he's got a tremendous stick. And of which, we know these days that to defend in the National Hockey League, you've got to have a good stick. It's got to be in the right position. You've got to be smart with where you position it. And that's the way these defensemen are taught to defend. And as far as the other side of that, his offensive side is just through the roof. Runs a power play, shoots the puck, passes the puck, great vision on the ice, and is very competitive. So Alex Kerfoot gave me about as good a scouting report as you can possibly get about one particular player. And so I think at least the upside with him is really tremendous. And so that's a good thing. Now, the other kids, we saw Kravtsov a little bit last year when he came to New York. And he's just such a highly skilled kid. I remember just watching him play out at the Rangers practice facility and just kind of watching his hands and the way he's handling the puck and his skating. And the kid just looks like a high-end hockey player with the way he handles the puck and shoots the puck. So I know there's an awful lot of upside there, and they were anxious to get him here to North America and get him acclimated to a smaller ice surface in the North American game. And then Shesterkin, the goaltender, you always have to take, I think, numbers in any sport and be careful how you interpret a player based strictly on numbers. But you have to certainly put those into consideration. And with him, and you look at his numbers the last couple of seasons, and he's been a dominant goaltender in the KHL.
All right, where are you, Kenny? And most importantly, how is the round going so far?
Come on, guys. You know golf, the game of golf. It's humbling. I really don't like it that much, but it's a beautiful day. I'm in West Orange, New Jersey, Essex County Country Club, having a good time. And great to be on with you guys, my MSG buddies. I haven't seen you two in quite some time.
Well, thanks so much. We hope the round is going well, even if you don't want to get specific on how it's going at this point.
It's okay. It's okay.
All right. You, of course, are the Devils analyst, and big story concerning the Devils. They got the #1 overall draft pick. And when Taylor Hall is on a roster, this is the kind of thing that happens. For Hall, 9 years in the NHL, and he has now been on a team that's gotten the #1 pick a total of 5 times.
Can we get him with the Knicks somehow? Can we just give him just one game? Just sign him to a contract for a day.
Right. So, Kenny, #1 pick, is it going to be Jack Hughes? Is that a lock in your estimation?
Well, look, I mean, obviously, I'm just going to give you my opinion, but I assume, yes, it's going to be Jack Hughes. Obviously, Frazier and his crew will put trust in them. He knows what he's doing. So, obviously, they're going to make sure and analyze every aspect. World Championships, both guys are playing, Capo Caco and Jack Hughes. But I would think, for all intents and purposes, with the skill sets that Jack Hughes can bring and the potential he has, it'd be hard-pressed. He's been that guy that's been touted for the last 3 or 4 years for when his draft year comes, he's going to be #1, but he's awfully gifted. So we will see if there's any kind of surprise, but I would expect Jack Hughes.
Yeah, but you have 1 and 2 now, Devils and Rangers. Dano, is the rivalry coming back here? Is this because Hughes and Capo Caco will probably forever be linked in this draft, and they'll be playing against each other a lot.
And isn't that great? I think it's just terrific. It's great for hockey, certainly in the area, and to spice up the rivalry once more. Both the Devils and the Rangers certainly building toward the future, and certainly hope to have playoff-type years moving forward. And if you got the 1 and 2 pick, what better way to have a little, competition along the way here, because both these guys are awfully highly touted, Jack Hughes and Capo Caco. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm happy that it's turned out this way for the area. I think the New York, New Jersey metropolitan area, with the Islanders having a terrific season, I think we're going to have a heck of a rivalry in the tri-state area once more.